You want the green screen?
And we're live! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Save or Dice, the Kharos Stones. My name is Cody. We're taking 20. Kind of a big deal sometimes. I don't know. That's what Mike keeps telling me. He sends me letters. He folds them up, puts little hearts on them. So thank you for those, Mike. I appreciate it. I have some amazing people with me. Lauren's like, I'm out. I have some amazing people with me here today. We have Lauren, aka xMsGinjaNinja. Of course, we have Michael Hunt with unMadeGaming. We have David FRIANT of Nerdarchy, Jacob with XP to level 3, and our amazing Dungeon Master, absolutely phenomenal Dungeon Master, SCLANDERS from How to Be a Great GM, aka the Fat Goblin. Here to talk a little bit about our sponsors is Jacob. Jacob looks like he's paying attention.
I am paying attention. We got sponsors for this episode of the Kharos Stones today, everybody. And those sponsors include Fantasy Grounds is our tabletop online thingy of choice. They're really great. They're super awesome. And you can roll your dice in them. And what if you're like, gosh, guys, I like Fantasy Grounds, but I don't got no maps to put in my Fantasy Grounds. Well, let me tell you something a little special. There's also this thing called Dungeon Painter Studios, which is on Steam. And of course, it is where you can paint your dungeons in a studio. We are also sponsored by Elderwood Academy. Get your wood on and get some Elderwood Academy stuff. They've got wood. They've got little boxes. They've got little boxes of wood. And you should check it out. Ain't that the greatest you ever gosh darn did see?
Can we change the slogan now? Elderwood Academy, they've got wood. Do you?
No.
Do we have any more of these, Cody?
No, man. Now, listen, by the way, we love our sponsors. And all jokes aside, links are down below. If you guys use those links, it helps out the channel. I'm just saying, and by the way, they're seriously like very good companies, all three of them. Dungeon Painter will let you make infinite maps. We've used Fantasy Grounds since day one. We love them. They handle everything automated. Trolls regenerate life on the combat tracker. It's crazy. And then, of course, Elderwood Academy makes some of the sickest gaming accessories you guys can find. So seriously, all jokes aside, please go support the sponsors. It's a great way to support the show. Another way to support the show is check out the Patreon. So we had episode 5, I believe. 5 went up this week or maybe is it 6? I've lost count. But some number of episodes of Save or Dice After Dark has gone up. YouTube has flagged them as not appropriate or suitable for advertisers. So thank you to our...
because the word porn is in the name.
It might have to do with the title a little bit, but we were not sponsored. That episode is not sponsored by Pornhub. But seriously,
that one's not, but another one is.
Maybe later.
Stay tuned.
If we land a Pornhub sponsorship for the After Dark show, we will tell you. Guys,
does the cast get free subscriptions?
I will ask. You. I tell you what. We're not expensive. We're not the most expensive show around. I'll call Pornhub and see if we can't get them to sponsor the After Dark show.
Because if anyone has
you don't even have to pay Mike anymore then.
Aren't they owned by Disney now? I thought Disney bought them out this morning.
Disney bought Pornhub? Oh my god.
To be fair, half their content's already on there anyway.
This is off the rails. SCLANDERS, take it away.
All right, there we go. With those thoughts wandering around our heads, we return now to the scene of destruction, where that tower, the tomb of the fallen soldiers and Jenks, is still bellowing out clouds of dust. Fires have started all over the place as various braziers and torches and things were knocked over when the tower collapsed. Draxus, you are still riding atop that skywell, which is now starting to do a giant turn to come back towards the tower, because that's where Aknin Kasim thinks you want to go. Vankus, you are inside the crumbling tower trying to make your way out as fast as you possibly can, I believe. Everybody else is dead. But as you are turning around...
Yep.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. As you are trying to wheel your skywheel around, Draxus, you beseeched somebody.
And I leapt off the skywheel like an idiot.
You did.
I leapt off and in midair beseeched my patron to resurrect my allies under threat that their ancient text would die with me.
That's right. And there was a conversation that started to happen. And that conversation basically ran along the lines of, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to bring back one of your companions?
And in typical academic form, he retorts with, what are you asking for?
We know my origin. We know your origin. I no longer want to be imprisoned. So, I will help you bring back one of your companions, for it is no small feat to restore the dead. In exchange, I want part of your soul.
Theocracy isn't really my bag. I thought you already had it, so feel free.
Done. Your runes all over your skin sort of light up in this brilliant glow of energy, and you have the ability to bring back one of your companions.
He only knows where one is. And he points to the bag of beans, especially since he saw the literal bag of beans pick up the stone he needs, and points in that direction as he is free falling from a sky whale.
As you are free falling, you point in that direction. There is this brilliant bolt of blue energy which simply evaporates the bean. And Jenks, this happy, oblivious space where you were running in fields of bread, running your hands over freshly baked loaves as you walked down the meadows of rye, you are suddenly pulled out of this space, and the bread suddenly turns moldy, it turns dark, it has that sour, rank aroma to it, and then you're back on this crumbled rubble. Everything hurts. Your eyes are open, but you feel very different, completely changed, as if you're not really who you are meant to be, or you're not meant to be here. You've been wrenched out of this space that you were in, this happy place. You are now back. Your eyes.
As her eyes open and she pushes herself to her feet, she puffs her chest out a little bit. It's been a long time. And she looks over. Where is Draxus?
Falling towards you.
She
Draxus
will jump and catch if she can.
You're going to try and catch him. Draxus, are you going to try and stop your fall? You jumped at 30 feet, I believe. So
I think he jumped at 100 feet because fuck it, why not? But yes, he does. As he is flying through the sky, he points and sees the bolt of lightning. You know, this stream of light sort of erupt in that general area. And as he sees Jenks emerge from the what was once a pile of beans, he disappears in a wisp of silvery smoke and appears superhero pose on the ground next to her, and then immediately stands and walks up to her and says, "What the hell do you think you were doing? I said get out of there."
I am fine.
Yeah, clearly.
Though I cannot say the same for our friends here. And you see her hold out her hand with the greenstone.
No. Shit. What about the other one?
You see her look around.
There's bits of ice everywhere.
There's bits of what?
Ice everywhere. And rubble.
I was misplaced for a time. I am not sure where the other one is. But I will help you find it.
But it's a person, whatever. If he's dead, he's dead. Where's...
Oh, I thought you were looking for another stone.
No, I have the other ones. Those are fine.
No.
So I assume.
Oh yes, they're all quite dead.
Great. What about Vankus?
Vankus, you eject from the lower part of the tower along with all of the other thousands of people running in terror. What do? You see the skywall is now starting to come in low down towards the tower.
Vankus is kind of just looking up confused, trying to figure out how he's going to get to his ride. He's distraught over the loss of his companions. You know, he's seen the two of them get obliterated, and then the beams were raining down on Jenks, and she was on the other side of the tower. I guess I'm going to look for the next tallest tower and try and see if I can't climb to the top.
All right. So, yeah. There's several towers around. Not a problem at all for you to make your way up. Are you turning back into Spider?
No, I'm all tapped out, so I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and walk up the steps.
So you're going to go back up into the structure and try and get up there. All right.
Yeah.
Not a problem whatsoever. You make your way up. You start making your way up the way. People are running down. Some are screaming, "There's a dragon!" Someone else is shouting, "We're under attack! We're under attack! Man the defenses! It's orcs! It's orcs!" is screaming somebody else. So it's just general cacophonous confusion all around you. You will make your way back up to a platform that sort of looks out over the city. You can see there's the circus tent down below you. Sartoon is now pulling up next to your tower. Agnim Kasim is standing there and he's saying, come on, we've got to get out of here right now. It's very bad. We broke the city.
He pulls up next to the tower that Draxus and Jenks is on.
Yeah, so you guys are on the sort of the crumbled ruin part of it. Vankus came out onto a platform nearby. So because of the length of the skywall, you're right there.
Yeah. He looks to Jenks and says, the other stones are on board. We'll have to find Vankus later. But get on. This tower's not going to last for long.
I don't have any pockets to carry this. I seem to be wearing potato sack. Or bean sack. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know either. That's just what you wear. Man, you took a pretty big blow to the head. I'll take it. And he reaches over and grabs the stone.
All right.
Just get on.
She's going to effortlessly just jump across.
Sure, not a problem. It's not too difficult. The skywall is fairly stationary when she's not moving. Vankus, do you leap on as well?
Yeah.
Yes, if it's close enough, I absolutely will.
Absolutely. Just because of her length, she kind of cuts across multiple towers. As the three of you are leaping on, it's not difficult to spot, although Draxus, you see this more than anybody else. As you are leaping across, looking back at the rubble with the frozen ice blocks and the remaining ice sculptures of Barnabas and Valentine, you notice that there is a red mist that appears to be slowly drifting and collating back together. And one of the pieces of mist, you sort of follow back and you can see this gauntlet that was worn by Rakthul himself, still embedded in the stonework. And you can see this red mist slowly drifting out of the gauntlet, and the gauntlet slowly starting to close down as if it's being evacuated of its life force. It's at exactly that point that then Agnim Kasim says, "So where are we going? Where are we going? Imshi." He starts sort of cracking on the reins of the skywell. You notice that ballista are now being wheeled out onto the towers of Hightown as they're getting ready to bring, obviously, to bear the weaponry of this city.
Draxus looks to Agnim and he says, "We need to hide somewhere. Down."
Yeah. And the Sartoon starts to move her 4 gigantic flippers, and she surges forward. And it's not even a minute, and she's cleared the city, having left it by quite some distance.
While we're doing that, Vankus is running back and forth along the length of the skywell, waving his arms, yelling, "No, the dragon's dead! We killed the dragon! You put them away! It's dead!"
Right.
You're safe. We saved you.
It's at that point that 3 ballista bolts sail past you as they're clearly firing at the skywell.
Run for the love nest.
Oh, jeez.
You run for the love nest. Yeah, the love nest is an awkward spot when you burst into it because all the women are in there, plus Captain Surak. There is flour and milk that's been spilled all over the place. It's just, it looks like they were trying to make a pancake using themselves as bowls because it's just absolutely a mess inside of there. They kind of look up immediately. Leslie comes rushing over to you and throws her arms around you. Oh, my husband, you are survived. I am so relieved. I am so grateful. And she absolutely is beside herself with joy. Surak is quite happy as well. He climbs out onto deck. He looks at you, Drax. So where are we going now? We just dumped all the beans, so we have got plenty of room to load up on more cargo, huh?
Yeah. Split the money from the water. Take your cut for the beans. I'll take the rest.
And he looks back and forth between the shouting Vankus and the dumbfounded Jenks and says,
Does somebody want to tell me what the hell happened up there?
So when you say that, and I kind of look and I realize Jenks is not dead, I rush over and embrace her. And
He's stiff.
Jenks, I can't believe it. I saw the beans falling. I was sure you're a goner. I'm going to have Leslie make the most delicious bread for you. It's going to be amazing.
I appreciate the gesture, but I've long been allergic to most wheat, so I think I'm okay. I'd rather not risk it.
What do you mean? There's bread on your horns right now. What do you mean?
She goes to reach for it, and it's all molded because everything around me was moldy and gross, and it's almost like dust at this point that's just stuck on there, and she just kind of hits it off and washes and wipes her hand. I will go comfort the sky whale. It has definitely been strenuous. And she walks upstairs, goes out to the front where Vankus would talk to it, and she will reassure it and use speak with animals.
What the?
Drax, what happened up there? Did she get hit with a lot of beans on the head? What?
Yeah, like 40 tons of beans. Like so many beans. She was dead. No, she died for sure.
She doesn't look very dead.
Yeah, well, I did a thing and sold a half of my soul. We'll figure it out. Where are the other two idiots?
They got blasted into ice cubes.
That's what the chunks were.
Did Jenks get the stone? She went after the stone.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah. She went after the stone and then she ran the wrong way.
Yeah, I saw that. I tried to tell her to get out of there, and then all the beans just fell on her head. But on the bright side, we now know at least one way to get the stones out.
I don't know if we had that kind of cold at our disposal.
That's fair.
And I'm not looking to meet another dragon. Not like that. That was bad.
Vegas, I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea where to go next. I think we need to go to the Undersphere.
What about
the binders? But I don't know the Undersphere very well.
What about the stone? There's more, right? We got to find more.
I think there's only 3. That's what Barnabas said. 3 was like a lucky number for Brax or whatever.
Barnabas wasn't that smart.
That means a lot coming from you.
Like I thought he had a plan. We were going to go on a tower and we're going to save people and we're going to help. And all he did was get everyone killed.
I saw that. Since everyone's dead now except for you. Well, we can talk to Donkey. We can talk to what the hell's her name? She gave me a name.
Oh, did you find the woman from the circus?
Oh yeah, she's below deck. That went fine. Very easy. Great performance. You would have had a good time.
I didn't notice the glowing gem because of all the flour, I guess.
Yeah. That's true. Your wife has taken she's made some renovations that I've had to pay for. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Whilst you two decide on where you're going, I will need, please, our new characters, Dante and Lionel, to please give me Constitution saving throws.
Already? We're going to have to make new ones.
Dude, we just got these characters. And if you kill the characters this time, you're definitely paying for the art. Natural 20, baby. This is going to be a good character.
Oh, shit.
This is going to be a good character. I can feel it.
All right, Lionel, you are sitting there, and next to you, Dante tries to slam his wooden little shot glass down on the table, but completely misses the table edge and continues to go with his little shot glass down onto the ground where he lands heavily and just starts snoring, completely passed out. You, however, slam your wooden mug down, look up defiantly, and sitting across you inside this incredibly smoky yurt is this very large, very robust, very buxom-looking woman. She might be attractive if she wasn't covered in yak butter, and she glares at you. She's got an array of these little wooden mugs in front of her, just as you do as well. The drinking competition has not been going well, and with Dante now passing out next to you, it's just up to you to save the two of you.
Oh, great.
You may or may not have insulted the chief of the tribe with a little limerick that the two of you were performing. This precipitated a drinking competition with their champion. Her name is Yut, and Yut looks over at you. She's kind of blurry-eyed because you're on now probably shot 15 or so, and she's waiting for you to nod to request the next round of drinks or to just tap out.
Lionel is he's never one to really back down from a challenge, but he doesn't like to be so sloppy that someone can rob him. So I think at this point he's gonna look down, bruv, and I'm gonna try to wake up Dante and be like, why do I always trust him? I'm just gonna kind of look over at her and just, I'm out, and I'm gonna kind of just tip the glass over on the table this way to, I assume, a bunch of cheers to let because she's definitely gonna win this competition.
Yeah, she rises up. A little bit shakily from the table. She looks from you at Dante and then back to you again. And she then glares at you and she says, "You drink like girl. I choose that one." And she points at Dante. There's a cheer that goes up around the audience. She grabs his ankle and just starts dragging him to the side room. And the rest of the crowd are all cheering and clapping and kind of forming a gap, allowing her to drag Dante into this private room.
Thus my life, even when I outlast my friends at the bar. Can you kind of describe this? You said the tribe here.
Good. Yeah. So you are in Tahunka, which is it's a semi-permanent village that you happen to have found yourselves in. You came here seeking employment or fortune or just to get completely drunk, I suppose. This is how you found yourselves here. You can tell me how you got here. But the yurt itself is this quite large structure. There's big bones that have been used to create the shell of the thing. And then originally it was leathers and hides that had been sewn over the structure. But because of the age, the amount of smoke, which is all from fat, rendered fat, The interior has got that sort of waxy, sticky, mucky kind of coating that's made it now a permanent structure. And there's little rooms that have been cordoned off around the edges. The rest of it is a standard sort of tavern type of setup. These individuals are known for being very tough, very hard people, but at the same time, given their proximity to several very lucrative potential sites of how shall we put it, gold investment, provided get there. Yes, you felt it was wise to make friends with the Tahunka. The chief, however, apparently does not share your sense of humor.
Now, and forgive me for maybe misunderstanding, is this structure part of the main island that we were that the previous group was on, or is this a totally separate floating island?
Floating island, and we're going to keep it that way for now, for various reasons. But nonetheless, you are now inside this space. The chief, he did not find your joke funny, but he didn't order you immediately decapitated and rendered down into candle fat. So you've kind of been accepted now by the rest of the hunters, although given your propensity, one of them sort of leans over and says, you do not drink very well, huh? You terrasphere liver, right?
Yeah, something like that, bro. Something like that. How long is she going to be in there?
He looks from Dante to her and then back again. It depends on if you wake up or not, huh?
I think I'm going to get some fresh air, bruv. And I'm going to kind of slide out. The reason that I'm here is to kind of assess some situations and look for some lucrative opportunities. So I'm hoping that as I slide out here, the reason for my high constitution save was because I wasn't actually drinking that hard. I kind of lost this competition on purpose. And so I'm going to kind of slide out and, peek in any gaps in the windows, looking for loose coin purses. And then as I kind of slide out, I have I begin to kind of go into a ritual cast for my unseen servant.
Your unseen servant.
Yes.
That's what you're going to start doing as you step outside. Not a problem whatsoever. As you're stepping out, someone, as you sort of pull the cloth aside and you step out, someone shouts, barkeep, I want a Wesley Williamson. Give me 5 of those, please. And then chase him up with Mario Sex, yeah? Yeah. Gets shouted inside. Now we drink monopoly that the girls have left. Ha, ha, ha. And there's laughter that sort of ripples out all around as they do so and make those various orders. Back to the three of you on Sartoon. As you're communicating with Sartoon, Jenks, she says to you, are you all right?
I don't know if I can do it.
No, we'll wait. Go ahead.
I think she's going to go into detailing kind of, I'm not going to say it for the stream, but she goes on to her what happened.
Yes, absolutely.
Knowing that this is the only living creature that knows her story other than that one other. So she's just kind of not gossiping, but just like, oh, look at that sky. Like just, trying to, no one ever really sits there other than Venkus and talks. And she just killed somebody. So, just hanging out with the sky whale. I think when she starts to wander back, she will ask for some clothes because her bean sack has seen better days.
Captain Sirac looks at you. You want clothes? We are all out of sex, I'm afraid.
Did you say sex or sex?
Sex, yes.
Sex.
Yes.
Okay. No, men's clothes, women's, anything really.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a draft, if you catch my drift.
Leslie comes rushing up and she says, come with me, dear. Don't you worry. We went shopping, so we're good. We're good. We have some things.
Leslie. Yes. And then she follows her.
How hard were you hit up there? She says as she sort of leads you down into the under sort of carriage. Elowith comes up to you, Draxus. So you have now rescued me. Where are we going exactly?
Actually, do you feel like you want to go anywhere? Like that you're being tugged in a direction?
No, I can't say I do, but I can tell you that it's the first time since this thing embedded itself in me that I have felt rather at peace, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's a bonus, I guess. Okay. Let's go see Scratches.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about that, Bardesian. We could make a lot of money, you know. I'm pretty good at being fired out of a trebuchet, and a talking donkey is not something that one comes across every day. Bardesians are quite rare.
Do I know what that is? That's what the talking donkey is.
Bardesian is the type of animal that has now been able to communicate with some intelligence.
No, we're fine. If we want to take the show on the road in the future, but we kind of have to, I think stop the world from ending.
Right.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
more important.
a little bit pressing. Although I do have a budding book business, and I think I bought a merchant whale or something. So making a circus probably is on brand now, I guess.
Praxis also bought us a love nest.
And that. And apparently clothes, because Leslie just went shopping. So,
Right.
yeah.
I see.
I'm going to give you an allowance, and that's all you're going to get.
And he looks over to Venkus.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I hate to be like a device which has not yet been invented yet, but I keep repeating myself. Where are we going? Says Captain Serac.
Oh, did you find the answers in the book?
What book?
Yeah, I think we have to go to a place that doesn't exist. So I want to see what the donkey says, but I think we need to go talk to the binders.
I kind of feel like my life has come full circle. I started off running with animals, and Old Wolf found me, and I found my way back to people, and now I'm back to consorting and getting advice from animals.
Yeah. I'm also kind of hoping you know anything about the binders more than I do, which is very little, since they're kind of reclusive.
The only Bankus, any knowledge that you have of the binders is they're a very strange cult of people who will just abduct kids in the Undersphere. You're not entirely sure what they use them for, but the only place you know of these binders, these individuals who keep the magic going, was the Tower of Va, which was in the Undersphere. You guys never went anywhere near it because it was near the mines where slaves are indentured for life.
Yeah, so I kind of a dark look comes over Vankus's face. Slavers, they're slavers.
Yeah, but they also understand how the islands stay together. And I'm pretty sure they bind everything together, or at least watch it or know it.
Oh, I know this one. Magic.
Nailed it, Vegas. You nailed it. But the place we need to go is the center of the world, which doesn't exist anymore. So I think they might know best where we might have to go.
Are you sure? Al-Kazim, can we fly to the center of the world?
Al-Kazim looks up. I suppose you could. I would not necessarily recommend it. It is a giant ball of compressed magic and water, which is quite hot, apparently. The Undersphere is closest you get, huh?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we have to go to the Undersphere.
That's where the binders are. that and giant dinosaurs and undead hordes and demon black shadows.
So
I'm sure we'll
I think we have a destination now. We have to go to the Undersphere. But so real quick,
Tell the captain, he says, and he goes off to go and find Captain Sirac.
did we determine whether there? For some reason, I remember 4 stones, but was it 3 or 4?
3.
3? Oh, we're good. We got them all. Grab our Pokeballs and head down south.
All right, speaking about Pokeballs, would you give me another Constitution check, please, Dante?
I was muted. Yeah. Man, Fantasy Grounds just makes it so simple for me to roll those Constitution checks.
Well, I guess it's not gonna take any longer in there.
It's
Guess
no.
not.
You barely stepped out, Lionel. Where you've just finished casting your rituals. What were you casting? Just remind me again.
Cody.
I was casting Unseen Servant. It takes about 10
That's
minutes to cast.
That's right. Yeah. So as you finished Unseen Servant, Dante gets unceremoniously chucked out near you.
I kind of look over. Is he unconscious still?
He is unconscious, yes, but he does now seem to be glistening with this. It looks like he's been coated in oil.
Bruv. And I'm gonna kind of try to like go into waking him up. If I need to, I'll cast Healing Word on him to try
Sure.
to. I know that's damage and not whatever, but I will do what I can to try to get him up. Some smelling salts, whatever.
Not a problem. Eventually you kind of bring him around. You kind of pour some water on his face. You notice that he is definitely covered in yak butter.
Bruv, were you awake for any of that?
Am I awake?
You are awake now. Yes. You remember nothing.
No. Where's my shot? Did I leave it on the floor?
You're now outside as well.
You've been, how they say, you've been used. I hope you had a good time.
Are they going to eat me? Why are they buttering me? Ugh.
I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to find some form of sailing vessel from this tribe, whatever means of transport that they would have, like extra rift ships, anything along those lines. That's one of the main reasons why ours was breaking down, and we were trying to like come here, maybe look for some opportunity, and then hopefully grab one of these ships and continue out of the area.
Sure. So you wander over to one of the larger yurts, which hangs precariously out over the edge of this particular island that you're on. And just below you, you can see, well, a part of the structure, I should say. Most of it's made out of bone, fairly large bone for that matter. And there are several, it looks like rather large balloons, though it's not like the orcish ones that have got metal plating all over them. These look like giant bladders of animals that have been inflated and stitched together with heavy rope that's been woven out of hair, I suppose. Great. That then goes down into these heavy wooden, they look like coracles, that sort of circular boat that Native American Indians used to make.
You think that's going to work for us?
Are we leaving?
That was the plan.
Okay. You know, they kind of liked us here.
I mean, if you want to stay, we could stay.
No, it's fine.
And I kind of point over his butter. Clearly, you're suited.
Yeah, no, this is nasty. I mean, maybe if they were going to fire me out of the ballistas, this would work real well because then you could just slip right out.
Right.
And then they'd be hard to catch you. So if they tried this, this is probably a really good tactic for fighting.
We'll have to try that.
Yeah.
And while we're over here by this ship, I'm already like kind of commanding my unseen servant mentally to like start kind of slowly undoing the knots and like, you know, getting ready to like take this ship.
Hey, did you buy this ship?
Yeah, bruv, we won it.
We did? Wait, did you win it or did I win it?
I kind of look back over at the butter. You won it.
Yeah. Dante's the hero.
Dante.
I won the boat.
And I'm going to kind of pull him in, even with the butter. You know, every great ship needs a name. What do you want to call it, Dante? Anything your heart desires.
I want to call it. Do you smell cheese?
You lost your sense of smell.
We're going to call it Havarti.
That is a great name for an airship.
I am a good poet.
The ropes have now almost all come loose, and you can see the ship is slowly starting to rise up above the pier. Luckily for you, Fantasy Ground seems to be on your side, since it's given these poor people such terrible roles. No one has noticed this ship slowly starting to rise up, primarily because most of them are in the yurt drinking.
How many airships do they have here?
Currently, they have 4.
They have 4. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Because I'm not a total heartless prick. I just need an airship really badly. So, as this is kind of finishing getting tied up, I'm going to... do I think I can make it to the other, or 2 of the others pretty easily?
Yeah. There's one instruction.
I want to, and how long would it take to untie them? They're only tied by one rope, right? Or are they tied by multiple?
1 at the front and 1 at the back.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
But they're looped and coiled. They're not. It's not like these things are animals that are going to try and pull away.
Okay,
they just keep them.
So after we get on the boat, or after we get on the ship, I want to call it a boat. Right. I'm going to call it a boat. After we get on the airboat, we're gonna swing this thing around, and I'm going to just swing by and nick a couple of the ropes on 2 of them. I want to leave 1 totally and completely tied up, but I want to let these other 2 drift away so that instead of chasing us, they'll be more worried about getting their other 2 boats.
Wow. Okay. Well, you so 2 20s in a row. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
new character art.
There we go. More character art. Yeah. No. As you are, so you're using your unseen servant to untie the ships. Is that correct? All right. So as you're drifting away, your unseen servant is busy pulling out the ropes of the first one. As he undoes the first ship, it starts to rise up. Someone comes staggering out of the yurt and looks over and sees the one airship already floating up, sees another one starting to rise up, and calls back inside the yurt. And you're starting to rise up again. You know, obviously you're starting to lift away. These don't have a lot of control on them. They're not really sophisticated hot air balloons. But pouring out of the yurt are several very drunk but very angry inhabitants of this particular island.
I lean over the boat and I point at them and I say, "Ha ha! We won your boat!"
And I give them a little wave and a nod, and then at the pier where the second boat is, that I also want to release, I'm just going to cast Shatter right on the post, so that it just shatters and splinters away and unties. Right. I'm going to still leave them with 1 boat. I mean, these are poor people, right? I need this 1 boat. I might return it. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. They don't know. All right, they don't know.
The one barge you have now let free, the one boat, has now cleared the ground, and they're running frantically afterwards. You can see they're busy grabbing these massive harpoons that they traditionally used to hunt skywhales with, and they're now trying to lob them at the hull of this coracle.
Not at ours though, right?
Not at yours. No, you guys are already sort of 70 feet away.
That's what
They're
I'm
trying
talking
to catch the one that's already floating away. Others are running over to the one that you shattered the one post. It started to rise up as well to try and tug on its ropes. They're busy running.
Do not worry, I left you one. Thank you so much for the airship. And
you're drifting away. Well, there we go. That's a great start. Pirating. It's wonderful. All right, that's what the two.
I will turn and look at what's your character name?
It's Lionel.
Lionel. I will look at you and say,
I'm a lot better at just stealing them.
Right.
That's what I did. I used to just steal them. We could have just stole it.
Dante, don't ever change, my friend. I am off for a little nap. Perhaps you will. We're sailing east, I believe.
Do you want me to play the song you like? The one that makes you fall asleep?
My friend, it would warm my heart for you to do so.
Okay. I sit back in the back of the boat. I pull out my lute and I begin to play softly. And it's this like, and that's the sailing off into the night as he sings that into the distance.
Someone clip that shit.
Oh, how romantic. How romantic. All right, that's this little coracle drifting away with opera bursting out of it. Back to the three of you on the Skywell with Sartoon. Surak comes in and he says, I have just been told that you want to go to the Undersphere. Not a problem. A little bit dangerous, yes, but you have got great trading instincts, so I assume we have got an angle that we are taking, yes?
No.
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 I thought we were going to save the world. You said we were going to save the world.
Yeah.
This is another one of those hero moments, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those.
They've been pretty profitable so far, so I trust you. Now, there is one little question I have to ask. The Undersphere is very close to the core. Very, very, very close. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Saturn has never been down there before. So she might react a bit strangely. They sometimes go a bit crazy when they get close to the core and then they try to swim inside of it. It's an uncontrollable urge. But this shouldn't be a problem. Where in Undersphere are we going? There are many, many, many little islands down there. You have a specific one?
Yeah, the core.
No, that is under the Undersphere. That is the giant glowing ball of magic and water and... yes, we will go to the Undersphere, yes.
Yeah. And then we're going to figure out how to get into the core without dying.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not my greatest plan, but...
Don't worry, Draxus is very smart. If anybody can do this, Draxus can.
Oh, no doubt whatsoever.
If it was Barnabas with us, I would not be on board for this plan. But I feel like Draxus, he's going to know what he's doing.
What the fuck?
He makes this funny symbol in front of him, and he says, I will not speak ill of the dead. He was... he sort of... I'll take us down. I don't know where to go exactly. We go to
Vegas, those slavers. You know where we can find them?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I stayed far away from them. I didn't want to be a slave. They took some of our friends, and I know exactly who would know about the slavers.
Oh,
slight problem. I threw him over the side.
Okay.
He would definitely know because he sold a bunch of our friends into the slavers.
Got it. Yeah, I don't think we can find that one. I think that one's a lost cause.
The main mines, if you think Vankus of the mines that Christoph might have known, would have been on Ith. It's one of the smaller islands in the Undersphere, but it's got a lot of mineral deposits on it.
Now that I think about it, I think maybe Ith would be where they would take the slaves.
And that's where we can find the binders.
They're slavers.
Yeah, the Tower of Va is on Ith as well. I mean, there's many towers out there. The binders are all over the place, but Va is on Ith. That much you do know.
Perfect. We'll head for Ith.
Ith, it is, says Surak. Yeah. Glad we built that love nest. We're going to need it as we go down.
I pull Draxus kind of to the side. How are we going to keep the binders from making us slaves?
Well, first of all, we're not children, so kill them would be a go-to. If they try to say, hey, I'm going to make you a slave, you turn into a bear and throw them off the island for all I care.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it worked great last time.
That's true. It's true. I don't know. The binders, I still find them a little scary. I had nightmares about them for a long time. Still do sometimes.
Well,
And he kind of like reaches out and pats Vegas on the arm.
we'll, I gotta go see what's wrong with Jenks.
And he starts to walk towards the below deck area.
You can come too if you want.
I will follow along.
And he heads down there to where the donkey is, Aoith is, Jegs 0.0. And he kind of walks in and he goes, all right.
So many curtains. Is that bunting? Oh my God. How much? I don't even want to know. Scratches.
You should try the cushions, says Scratches. He has a piece of cushion corner in his mouth. They're stuffed with real feathers.
So much popcorn. It hasn't even been an hour.
He kind of spits out the cushion and then looks at you.
Listen. Shit on top deck. Yeah.
She's getting dressed.
Like while he walks down, you're just nude getting dressed.
Leslie is kind of holding up. Unfortunately, what Leslie is holding up, she did buy clothing. She bought the very expensive kind of clothing, which is basically bits of string that have more bits of string on them, because her experience is Sacrificial Virgin, which the dress code for that is...
God, no.
Yes.
Are you telling me that Gwen is the paladin is wearing a Princess Leia outfit?
Yes. That's a pretty good assessment of the situation. Leslie is sort of standing back, going, "Perfect. It's just perfect."
And that's it, folks. We'll see you in After Dark.
Yep.
When Draxus walks down and she's dressed like this, she looks up at you and just says, "I feel as though you are tight on money, and that's why you bought less cloth. You could not have given her enough money to buy a full some pants.
Are you talking to me?
Tunic. Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh my God.
You
I
misunderstood.
don't care what she buys.
This is 100 gold. These are very expensive things. It was 100 gold. Vankus.
You're absolutely going on an allowance.
Are
The
there
same one Jenks had. 1 gold a day.
I totally ignore that and go over to Donkey and start chewing on the pillow with him.
I think she is there. Are there men's clothes laying around somewhere?
Yeah, there's Sirac stuff.
Barnabas had some clothing, Gwen.
Barnabas.
Whoever was the smallest,
Barnabas.
like the shortest or whatever.
Definitely Barnabas.
Why do you just keep rubbing salt?
So I think what she does is she takes a tunic. She just is like, well, I'm already not wearing clothes. So she just takes everything off, just standing there. And she puts on this tunic. It kind of does like that thing girls do where they just rip off sleeves. So it's like, and does that and then puts pants on and pulls the belt and then just like pierces it with the belt loop to make a much tighter one, and then cuts off the extra piece, and just looks to Draxus and just, is this suitable for you?
Yeah, I don't care, wherever you want.
I look up, blow feather out of my mouth. I like the sacks better. You smelled so good.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about people smelling me.
I feel like Barnabas was the oldest toddler in a group of children, and he sort of wrangled them. And now I've been cursed by his death.
It is my job to protect you. You not
Valentine rests.
What? It's your job to what?
Maybe this is a conversation in private?
No, it's not. Keep going. It's fantastic.
You always used to smell like food.
I agree.
Yes. I wore potato sacks.
That's what it was. Okay, so I leapt off the whale and I died, and this is my hell. Okay, the gods were real the whole time. Barnabas was right, thus proving my hell.
He would never let you die.
What?
I am here to protect you.
Okay. From what?
Anything, everything. Leaping off of whales, going to see circuses while your friends die.
I was pretty safe at the circus. I had a good time. I got an autograph. I met Awith.
I don't think him and Barnabas were ever friends. Barnabas tried really hard. Barnabas tried really hard, but I don't think they were friends.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
No, he won't. He's in a pile of ice cubes.
He's with his god now. That's exactly what he always wanted.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Well,
no one ever knows where they go.
Scratches leans over to you, Venkus. Are we going to have another wedding?
What do you mean another wedding?
Didn't she just say to he that she was going to protect him for all time? And isn't that what you...
Oh, yeah, Venkus definitely gets a surprised look on his face as he has an epiphany. I think that's how it happens to me. I guess we have a double wedding.
Gwen quickly looks over to the donkey and just hushes him and is like, Draxus does not have the requirements to be wed. I am here to protect him only.
I don't even begin to know what that means.
Well,
I didn't know what it means. That wouldn't happen to me either.
I don't.
Gwen just looks around, looks like disgusted, and is just like, I don't know what he saw in you. I don't know why I'm here. And she walks upstairs.
That burns. Sorry, says the donkey.
That was weird, right?
Yeah, it was definitely what I heard.
Okay. I think something's really wrong with Jenks, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm assuming it's 40 tons of beans to the head, and then it'll wear off in a day or two.
Maybe. Well, see, before Jenks just wanted to punch people, but now it seems like Jenks wants to just punch people for you.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I guess so. Unless you need people punched, like, you got a personal people puncher.
I mean, that's not terrible.
No, but you've been friend-zoned.
I don't.
Been protector zoned.
It definitely seems more like a working relationship, Scratches. And I don't know if it was friends was the right word.
So you know how you can only, with other donkeys
and horses, and
definitely he didn't stick to that only donkey. When we were visiting that tavern, he definitely made his rounds, and there were no donkeys.
Only with other.
You got a couple months.
Dragonborn.
What?
Dragonborn.
We're talking about eating from the same oat sack, right?
Nope.
Really? What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about eating from the same oat sack too.
You know what? Never mind. Scratches. You know that pull you feel in your chest from the stone?
Yes.
Where's it leading you? down?
Actually, I have to say, it feels like it's kind of it feels kind of nice. That's bad.
No, it's fine. It's just not useful to me.
I placed my palm upon the stone.
The separated stone or the one on Donkey's chest?
The one on Donkey's chest.
All right. You place your hand upon it. You get a sense of almost completed calmness that sort of washes over.
So I'm like holding his chest and I start scratching his ears. Yeah, he's right. It does feel kind of nice. Well, you want to touch it? It does feel nice.
No, I have one in my pocket. I'm fine.
Oh, that's a weird place to put it, but okay.
Where else would I put it? What are you talking about?
Touching the stone. Leslie, come over here and touch the stone with the donkey.
All right. Well, whilst you and Leslie touch the stone with the donkey, Elowith looks at you and she says, "You are not touching my stone, thank you." And she
I don't
kind of goes up on deck.
This is hell. This is hell. This is what hell is.
This is indeed hell. So, for the better part of the day, the temperature starts to lose its heat as you are descending downwards, and your ears have that horrid pressure until you kind of do the false yawn, and then it pops. And it isn't long before nightfall, and there's a strange sound that starts to drift over the silence of the night. It sounds like someone who is in great distress and wishes that they could let the entire planet know by shouting it out quite loudly.
Figaro, 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 Figaro.
When ready's an attack. No, I'm just kidding.
All I can think of is like that Bugs Bunny opera scene with Elmer Fudd. Spear and magic helmet. Spear and magic helmet.
Indeed. And Serac comes rushing up. There is, at first I was going to just have Sartun fly around it, but there is Yakati balloon slowly rising towards us. It does not look like anyone is driving it. It is, however, singing.
Are you
Are
guys
we
still
under
below
attack
deck?
again?
I don't know.
Are you
Where
trying
is
to make
everyone right now?
I beg your pardon?
Napping?
Yeah.
Sorry, where is everyone on our ship? Are they below deck or above deck?
Most are below deck. The love nest is very nice. It's nice and comfy, and it's not so drafty. The room is quite warm. Scratches has been trying to read again because he found it quite relaxing. So only people on deck is Atnim Kasim and perhaps yourself.
Okay. So he's talking to her.
Yeah, and you've seen this balloon start to rise up. When Serac saw that, he immediately went down into the love nest to find Draxus and Bankers.
Do you have any throwable weapons of sorts?
Yeah.
Just in case.
We have a crate of harpoons, says Atnim Kasim.
Done. And then she'll just kind of like point, where can I find these?
Oh, just down there. If you hold the reins, I'll go and fetch them for you.
Okay. And she'll sit there with Leslie.
There is a deep rumbling that builds in the you.
Yes.
And the next minute, there is this incredibly low rumble that you guys are inside the love nest, and which is directly on top of her back. You feel this rumble building from her pelvis all the way through her gigantic diaphragm, which is the size of a castle door. And then this terrific low frequency sound just vibrates outwards as Satoon tries to respond in kind to
You're whale calling, bro.
Dante.
Do I see this happening?
Well, you don't see it happening so much as suddenly the balloon and the coracle kind of pitches 90 degrees sideways as it gets hit by this blast of sonic sound from Sartoon as she goes, Buongiorno. It just reverberates around the entire space.
What the hell is going on? And I'm trying to like grab onto both sides as we're like rocking up.
I found the most beautiful creature to exist.
Tell it to stop!
I can't. Such art should not go unwavered.
You're sort of saying this as you're being pressed against the...
Don't say no! Don't
I sing back to the whale.
You start singing back to the whale. Jenks, you kind of were holding on to the reins as Sartoon just released this sound. It was terrifically loud. Aknim Kasim kind of comes running over with this crate, and he puts them down in front of you. These are the new V9000s. They're very, very good. Apparently, they go very straight. Very good. Very, very, very good. But don't tell Captain Sarek. He's keeping these. He wanted to trade them. But you want to... I don't know what you want to do.
She picks one up. She just kind of finds
very
this
well balanced. Yeah.
Yeah, she's balancing it in her hand, and you see her like flick it around in her hand a few times, like she's used it before, and pops it up over her shoulder to carry it. This'll do. And she just starts walking towards the side of the ship that she hears the singing coming from.
Okay, says Aknim, and he sort of closes the crate down next to him. Bankers, Draxus, what are you two doing? This terrific bellow has just rumbled throughout the entire Skywell.
Can I get a gist for kind of like what Saturn is kind of expressing, feeling? Just
it's joy. It's joy. Unbridled joy.
I will kind of like stretch out in the love nest and ask Leslie to just sit with me, and so we can enjoy the happiness of the sky whale together and just listen to the sounds of its joy.
All right. You stretch out, Leslie stretches out next to you, and a few seconds later there's clop, 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 and then a warmth next to your other side as Donkey lies down next to you as well. Kind of Leslie's resting her head on this shoulder, Donkey's on this shoulder, as you're all kind of just lying there enjoying the vibrations of this happy whale.
Yeah, I'm almost drifting off, thinking about those times and when we would kind of just like dogpile, but with owlbears and bed down. It's just like this secure and warm feeling. I'm just totally enjoying it. I might fall asleep.
Draxus?
Did the captain come down and tell me that we were about to be under attack?
He came down. He wasn't sure whether they're under attack or not.
Okay.
I think they're trying to lure the sky whale. Some way. I'm not sure. I have never heard them do this before. Well, I have heard that once, but that was only when we were trying to make new sky whales. But that did not work. So I don't know what they're doing.
Draxus, he sighs heavily, walks over to the love nest, pulls out the stone out of his pocket, and says, "Vegas, here, just hold this for me real quick." And he hands him the green stone.
Venkus is in this pile of people, quite happy.
This is what with my chest.
Yeah, just hold on to that real quick. And Draxus walks up, like eyes almost closed, kind of knowing the route he's taking, and walks to the edge of the wooden platform on Sartoon and just sort of holds his arms out and says, "This is it. Pirates, just shoot me down."
Next to you with a harpoon.
Yeah, Gwen is going to grab the back of his shirt and throw him down if she can. Like, pull him back as hard as she can.
I want to just come up to the sky whale, just seeing him like this.
Hello.
What the hell was that for?
Listen,
Just
I
throw
need
me
to
out of the
keep you
ground.
alive.
What? I'm dead. This is hell. I've established it.
What do you think hell is like?
This is literally it. Everything that's been happening for the last I don't know, 8 hours. It's exactly what I imagined to be hell.
This is one of your best days compared to hell. Don't wish for such things. And she just kind of steps forward to look down. They don't look very threatening.
Can we come up to the sky whale?
Yeah, you're slowly rising up to the sky. Well, the coracle is sort of swinging around because every refrain that she gives, or every response she gives to your call, pushes the basket sideways again by sheer volume of air.
You come over and you just are like, you just look over, and then just rising up is this tiny boat, and then I'm standing right at the front, and I look up at you, and I'm holding this huge battle axe. And I just go, hi.
You can throw that.
Oh, there, bruv.
Oh,
Nice whale you got there.
Whale. She's really nice.
are you pirates?
What?
I am
No,
not a pirate. No.
Not anymore.
No, I acquired this boat. My friend and I did in a game of drinking.
I wanted it in a card game, but they put butter on me.
'Tis true story.
You still sure this isn't hell?
No, hell's not.
Hold
Hell's
my-
not the only place that's full of idiots.
Well, then maybe I'm there. This is...
What's your business? And she takes a step in front of Draxus with the spear kind of like hanging onto it behind her head.
I don't know. I just really liked your whale.
We are going wherever the winds of change take us.
This is Lionel. I'm Dante. And we're both poets.
He
She
is not
looks
wrong.
back.
Can I come on your boat?
No.
Okay.
She looks to the captain. Does this happen often to you?
No, never in my entire journey have I encountered someone who could sing to sky whales. He leans over to Draxus. This could be very, very, very lucrative. If he can sing to whales, we could go and tame the wild herds of the Terrasphere. There's quite a lot of...
While Dante is negotiating with this, and she's like, "No, you can't. I'm already like landing the boat, like the ship."
So you
onto there.
sort of-
They've got a
you
huge
both
surface,
have to leave.
not filled
Yeah.
with beans any longer, right? So it's just a massive whale.
Miles of space.
Yeah. We're just gonna
Beans are a
land.
sore subject.
Yeah, so Draxus and Gwen / Jenks, you notice the two of them on the balloon, they're both standing on one edge, and that causes the balloon's weight to have shifted, so it's slowly starting to drift over the skywell now as it's coming towards you.
I don't even care at this point.
I'm coming on your boat.
Whatever.
I jump on.
You're going to leap out of the coracle? Sure.
Yeah.
You're not that high above it anyway, and the whale is trying to get herself closer to you. So, yeah, you leap out, you kind of land, roll on the deck, and come up. Lionel?
Is there a way, Guy? So I want to be a little deceptive here. Is there a way to, because honestly, Lionel wants to be out of this boat, and so he kind of sees this as a really great opportunity to send this thing on, and then I'm not tracked and hunted down by any weird tribes that can find me or none of that crap. So I think this is pretty fortuitous. Is there a way that I can like let out some of the air that I can be like, oh well, this is good timing because we've been having issues, even though there's not issues. But I also don't want to screw myself over that I can't resolve the issue if we need to like scray.
So you want the balloon to just
deflate a bit, or is there a way like in the mechanics I could
Yeah.
is there like a general like something wrong I could pretend that there's wrong, like wedge something down in and be like, oh, we're having steering issues or anything like that?
Well, there are these large bladders on the sides of the coracles, which you know that they've got these little sort of, it looks like leather straps. If you undo those straps, you can let some of the air out, and that kind of pushes the coracle in certain directions. The main bladder above you, there are several release. It looks like the what you call it, the hide has been pulled to a drawstring, and if you open that up, it'll release some of the air out of it.
Ballast.
Okay, so I'm going to I'm gonna look for like a as like we're kind of landing, like before we touch down. I want to kind of like look around and see if there's like a little piece of bone or something from this like bone made structure that I can like fake wedge into it, and then as we kind of I know where it is, kind of in the back, that I can take it out if we need to steer. But when we land, I can kind of show them like, I'm having technical difficulties with the boat at the moment. That's why we are drifting. It is so fortunate that you are here for us.
Can I
really
insight
really
that?
You're going to have to look at the boat itself to see it. You can give me a deception check, though.
I can do that. I got a +7 to that. Come on, Fantasy Grounds. I hate you so much. No, that's 13's okay.
Give me an insight, Gwen.
Come on, Gwen.
Can I actually intimidate him into telling me the truth?
You don't know that he's lying yet, so give me an insight check first, and then we can take it from there.
Okay.
Nope. As far as you're concerned, they definitely are having technical difficulties. Although, just describe Dante for us, please, because
okay, so
quite sounded.
he's about 7 feet tall. He's got a bear cap over his head, and then he's wearing mostly furs, but he's got chainmail underneath him. Then he's also wearing some leathers here and there, and he's got a guitar and a battle axe on his back, and he's got like this really bright green skin. He's got the 2 tusks coming out of the front of him, and he's not necessarily attractive, but he looks like this really mean, ugly-looking dude. But he's like he's like smiling, so it almost looks like, oh, that's cute. What? You're just like a little puppy dog in an orc's body, and that's like what he looks like.
That's
so
what you.
He's like looking around, and then he looks up at you guys and he says,
So, where are you from?
This is my worst day. Look, just get out of your boat. I don't even care.
I'm already on your boat.
No, I meant your other friend.
We appreciate this. Thank you, bruv. And I'm going to start tying it down.
Sure, you can tie it down. The captain takes his cue from Draxus's very sort of casual approach and sidles up to you, Lionel. There is a 5 gold docking fee.
That is interesting. And I'm going to reach in and I'm going to pull out a little jar of honey. Tiny little jar of honey. And as I do, I kind of clang around in several little bottles and jars into my bag. And as a charlatan, he is well practiced in passing off nothing, utter crap, earwax as amazing magical remedies and such. And so he'll kind of look over and be like, perhaps I will trade you for this.
I look over and I go,
You're going to give him the honey.
But not just any honey, the rarest honey. Bruv, you've never tasted anything like this. It will...
You're going to give him the rare honey.
Cure foot corns. It will protect you from the sun. It will help you sleep like a newborn baby. Not to mention, it is the sweetest honey you have ever smelled. And I'm going to kind of waft it in front of his nose. It's total bull. It's not even, it's total bull.
Is it honey at least?
It's honey. It's barely honey. He might have some dirt in there to fill up the jar at the bottom.
Lionel, you should just give him the 5 gold. That honey's worthless, worth so much.
It is a token of friendship. Maybe I shouldn't. And I'm gonna kind of take it away from
him. You say sun cream and corns?
Indeed. You don't happen to have any. And I'm gonna look down at his feet. Oh, my friend, your poor feet. Put a little bit of this on there right away. But, this is easily worth, 50, 60 gold. So you're probably right, Dante. And I'm going to go to start putting it back.
No. Wait, just wait. You can dock here for 15 days. He sort of goes to try and get the honey.
My friend, we're also a little hungry.
Yeah, pardon the logic included. Yes. Give me the honey.
I'm not sure if I should. And I'm like slowly extending it out towards him, like he's gonna reach up and grab it. As soon as he takes it from, all right. It is a fair deal.
Good. Your ship is secure. Yes?
You owe me one for this, though. You definitely got me in this trade.
Yes. I will be back. He runs down into the love nest. He comes down into the love nest, sees you down there, Vankus. We have some new passengers on board. They are legitimate business people, and they're my guests. So just be aware of this. They get board and lodging, part of the deal.
Well, it's your Skywell. Do what you want. Then come on, Leslie. Let's meet these new people. Scratches, you should come too.
Sure. As you're leaving, you see Surak sort of digging his finger into the honey. Oh yes. All right. That's what
awesome.
You're doing.
So awesome.
You come up onto deck to see Draxus looking. I don't know. Is it perplexed? Is it just?
Draxus has like the toothiest sneer on his maw as he walks, he rubs his face, and you see his eyes kind of glow this green, and he walks over to Lionel and throws a scaly arm around him and says,
Nothing on you is magic.
I don't know what you're talking about, my friend.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you. Literally nothing about you is magical at all.
I kind of.
Plain.
Oh no! And I'm gonna immediately go into cover mode. I must have been duped.
Shut up! I don't care.
Oh.
No, you're fine.
And you kind of see him like relax for a moment, and
Yeah,
make like straight up eye contact with you.
Yeah, I don't actually care. Look, I started in a bar, and then I fell into a dungeon, and then I almost fell off an island, and now I think I own the Sky Whale. There's a bookseller on here. I'm pretty sure I just started a book emporium. Someone wants to start a circus. You're the least of my worries.
Like the Scholastic Book Fair?
Yeah, I think I'd invented it, but I'm glad it's been spread around that quickly. Listen, if you can sell I don't even know what that was. Maybe you'll be useful. But the chances are we're probably going to die in the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 days.
Whoa, bruv.
Yeah.
I'm not here to get killed. I'm here to get paid.
Well, column A, column B, if you catch my drift. So you can either hop back in your balloon and you deal with your issues, or we're going deeper, and you can tell the greatest story you and your, I don't know, is it a manservant? have ever told.
And I kind of look almost offended. Nah, bruv, that's Dante. He's good people.
Manservants could have names. I call mine Tiberius.
I thought you called him Venkus.
I'm not a servant.
Vankus,
No,
you and
Dante.
Leslie live up on deck.
Yeah.
So how much?
It's not so bad. It's much better than being a slave.
I run over to Venkus and I look at him and I look down and say,
Hi. My
I
name.
start sniffing you,
Oh my god.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with this ritual.
and he's still covered in yak butter, right?
Right?
I do one of these up his arm.
Oh,
Is that yak butter?
I think so.
I think so too. I'm
You
Vankus.
want it?
This is Scratches. This is my betrothed Leslie.
Don't help.
Barnabas was going to carry us, but he died.
I kind of pat Draxus on the back. We're going to talk about that gold. Oh, my dear lady, look at you! And I kind of go up to Leslie, and I'm I give her the nice kiss on the hand, and I'm like bowing over to her and everything, and I'm going all over. He's definitely flirting with Leslie a little bit. But before Venkus can kind of get too upset and react, he kind of looks over.
He's oblivious.
He leans back and looks at Venkus and he goes, "Hey!" And he gives him a slap on the ass as well.
Oh! And I start hopping around like on one foot. Are we going to get married?
You can marry one.
No, bro, I'm not the marrying type.
Wait. I point at Venkus. What's your name?
Vankus. They call me Vankus.
Venkus. Greetings. My name is Dante Puccinelli Respicio Crosta Flavio Zandi.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Dante.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who's the donkey?
That's Scratches. Say hello, Scratches.
How do you do?
Huh?
I ain't never heard no talking donkey before.
I've never heard a talking ass.
I've only heard legends of such a donkey.
Scratches, you're still the favorite.
He kind of.
I just put my hand on him slowly.
Legends. You didn't even see him in the barn.
Vankus, might I have a word in private?
Sure, Scratches.
He kind of
It's a love nest.
turns around, toddles off down the stairs into the love nest.
I will look at Gwen and say, who are you?
Well, and she'll look over at Draxus and just kind of shift a little bit. My name is Gwen. At least that's what my friends call me.
Did you ever go by the name Steve?
No, can't say that I have, but there's a possibility. I don't remember anything from certain times.
I look over at Lionel and say,
Does she look like Steve Buscemi?
She kind of does look like Steve, yes.
Interesting. Maybe
Is
it's
he
Steve
famous?
Buscemi.
and he just keeps staring.
And Lionel will give Gwen the like greeting, but he does not give Gwen the same greeting that he gave Leslie. Like he's like, oh look, weapons, warrior, not
Yeah, she still has this thing just kind of hanging on behind her.
Let's not piss her off.
Yes.
And who are you, Scaly One?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
We're doing this. Draxus. Clearly that's Gwen, I guess. This is Sartoon.
Who's Sartoon?
The whale.
Sartoon is beautiful.
Yeah, does he bite or pee on things?
No, bro.
All right. If you go that way, the person that drives Sartoon, you can hang out over there or whatever, I guess.
So you were you were talking about getting paid.
Yeah, sort of. We have to survive first. So you either hop on the balloon or throw your lot in with us and see what happens.
I'm going to look over to Dante and be like, kind of give him the shrug, like, you wanna go this route?
He looks at you, Lionel, and he does that thing that you like. He's obviously learned this from you. This like smart look of like, I think we can trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. 2 of our friends just got frozen to death by a dragon, so...
Well, wait, bro. You're talking about fighting a dragon.
Oh, no, I killed it.
Oh, I wanted to kill a dragon.
What do they pay for killing dragons?
They shot harpoons at us and made us leave the city, so I don't know.
So you're saying...
I'm pretty sure I also toppled 2 towers.
You're saying there's probably a debt to still be paid, right?
I guess so.
Then you're talking to the right person. And, yeah, he'll start going in and fetching some of the stuff out, like the, just, there wasn't a lot of stuff on them, but, just like the oh my God, the flute and a couple of musical instruments, and I'll give some drums over to Dante, and we're going to kind of just unload, mostly musical instruments is what I'm talking about. Not much else as far as being useful. No extra sets of clothes. but there's like some dice in there. There's mostly musical instruments. We'll unload a few. Start bringing them out and handing them over to Draxus.
Vankus, you've been taken aside by Scratches.
Thank you. Don't want.
Scratches looks up at you with intensity he thinks it looks like intensity, but because they don't have a lot of muscles in the center of their brow, it's very difficult for horses to show intensity. But he looks at you. He's trying to steal your filly. I've seen this before in the great herds. He's challenging your alpha status. You did pick up on that, didn't you?
Huh?
He puts a hoof to his head. Vankish, we need to talk about how to keep your herd together.
How many do we need for a herd?
We're a herd.
Oh.
You, me and Leslie and, well, Elwith is interesting. I'm not yet sure about her. Draxus and whatever that strange creature is that he brought back in the shape of Jenks, and well, the fat one and the thin one that doesn't talk very much, and Sartune, obviously. And now there's this other one. They smell like they've been rolling around in who knows what, and he's moving in on Leslie. You have to show dominance.
Oh, I remember. Now I remember. From my time with down below with the owlbears. So I will run from the love nest.
He tries to push you up the stairs, realizes that that's not how his body works. And you hear a thump behind you as you run up the stairs.
And so I run, I'm running like on all fours towards Lionel, and I pull up short and I throw my hands in the air. And I start kind of like roaring and growling at him and making myself really big.
And I'm gonna look over.
I pull out the axe.
I'm gonna look over at Draxus and just go, "Does he bite?"
Only when provoked.
And I just keep getting closer and closer to you.
I'm gonna kind of lean back and be like, "Bruv, what is this about?"
I'll step over if you're getting closer to him and have my axe between you two.
He's kind of fainting a little bit here.
You can't.
He knows Dante's going to be right there.
That just told me what you're doing.
I'm not looking for any herds. I don't even like sheep. Wool makes me itch.
They're trying to steal our herd.
I believe he thinks that you're trying to encroach on his friends and lady.
I lean over to Lionel and I say,
"And Sartune,
shall I summon the slaughter cloud?"
I'm gonna cast sleep on him at a level 3 spell. There is no save. It just happens because that's how sleep works in 5e. So no, well, you're right. Yeah. So it's I think it's 5d8 plus 2d8 for each level, so 9d8. So what's your hit point total, Dave?
It is 42.
Oh God, I don't think I can get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
If you roll all 8,
you go to sleep. No. You just sleep.
Ooh,
nice.
Evas!
I imagine he just.
It was damage too, so I actually had less than that. So yeah, I go right. I go from to just toppling backwards.
Yeah, he just. Is he going to be a problem?
Not anymore, apparently.
You know what? I don't know. Like 12 hours ago, he threw his best friend off the island, and then he fought a dragon, and again, 3 of our friends died, but that one came back to life, sort of. And
do you mind if I tie him up a bit?
No, just Gwen. Can you drag him, Jenks? Gwen, I don't know what to even call you. What do you want me to call you?
Maybe now is the time to talk about this. Can we all sit, maybe?
What else can go wrong? Lionel,
Dante sits.
Dante.
Uh,
All right.
Gwen's going to like sit with her legs out, just like leaning on her one hand, and she's still got the spear behind her neck just in case. She was holding on to it.
Weirdest day of my life.
She gestures for Draxus to sit.
Yeah, no, whatever.
And he sort of crouches down.
What do you got?
Jenks is gone.
All right.
You asked for her to come back, and it wasn't possible.
All right. So I'm starting with you.
And she points to your markings.
Mm-hmm.
There was a cost involved. No.
Yep. About half a soul.
I'm here to protect you, whether I like it or not. So you could be less shitty to me and let me protect you. Or I could knock you out and stow you away so that you're safe.
Well, that's pretty shitty.
I agree. I don't want to be here at all, actually.
Half your soul to save her life.
Yeah, well, not hers.
That is so romantic.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
She only wants you to be safe. That's so romantic.
Lionel, put it down.
No,
Whatever you want to play.
I'm tying him. I'm tying him up. That's all I'm doing in the background.
I pull out a violin.
No.
I will literally throw that off of this ship if you play music right now.
All right. There we go.
She stands up and just says, "This went as well as expected. I'm going to go drink heavily." And she looks over to the captain. "I'm assuming you have alcohol that's not wheat here?"
Sure, but Jenks, you.
I am
Okay.
not Jenks. For the last time, do not call me Jenks. I am Gwen.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Sure. Yes. There is that very nice, very nice. Yes. Come with me. Come with me.
And she'll drop the spear down when she goes. She'll put it back in the box.
That is V9000. That is very valuable. So he sort of picks it up and holds the harpoon as he goes down into the love nest with you, leaving the three of you and the now slightly snoring Vankus, I suppose.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was, but she was dead a few hours ago and sold half my soul. Now whatever that is back in her body. We'll figure that out. Anyway, we have 2 fresh bunks here because my allies died. If you want to sleep on those bunks, you're totally fine. And we're piloting the Skywheel into the center of the world. So
I go over and I put my hand on his shoulder to Draxus and I say,
I'm going to hate this.
You're a good man, dragon. You.
and there's like tears in his eyes as he pokes your chest a few times, like, and he starts to walk away. And like as he walks away from a distance, he's like,
I'm gonna feed him the stone.
Lionel, you have secured Vankus.
I'm gonna drag him back to. I'm gonna ask around. We don't have to do this in character. I'm gonna ask around wherever his bunk is, and I'm gonna ultimately get Dante to help me drag him back, and we're gonna put him back in the love nest with Leslie, and
yes.
I'm gonna spoon him a little bit so that he to calm him is the pretense.
There is a gasp of shock and horror from Scratches, and he just quietly trots out of the love nest. He walks past you, Draxus, and he looks at you. So, that's our new leader.
I'm sorry, what?
The one who's currently bedding Vanquish.
And
you allowed them to dominate.
Is that what it takes now? We have to sleep with Vankus to be in charge?
That's what you do with the Alpha. You defeat them and then you make them your own. Does nobody understand how things work around here?
I don't even know how to begin to address that.
We must challenge him. I would, but I can't. I have little legs.
He reaches out, and like the sneer crawls back up at the side of his face.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
And he starts scratching him behind the ear and he says,
I hate you so much right now.
It's so much simpler. You're the lucky one.
Oh my gosh.
and the sea just fades.
Good call. Good call. All right. Well, the Skywell continues downwards, not southwards, downwards. The atmosphere of the ship is quite melancholic, as a matter of fact. Although, Lionel, you and Dante certainly get a lot of respect. Leslie brings you meals on plates. The steed kind of keeps away from you. He kind of throws this evil eye at you whenever you come near. But for some unknown reason, the moment you do, he drops down rather awkwardly onto his elbows and looks at the floor whenever he addresses you. Usually it's to call you for meals and the like. The captain is incredibly jovial with you and would love to know where you get that honey from, because his feet they just feel like they've never felt before. It's a miracle cure that you have.
I mean, I'll give him some ridiculous story of like how I had to climb to the highest mountain on the highest island of the highest whatever to retrieve the reddest bee. Like I'll give him just this unbelievable story of how hard it is to acquire more of this to try to increase his perception of value.
Got you. Absolutely. Vankus, when you finally wake up, Leslie is very, very quiet. She looks at you and she says, I will not leave you no matter what status you might have, my beloved. We are betrothed, and even if you are dethroned, I don't care. You saved me, and that's what's important. Although it would have been nice if you could have shown a little bit more backbone.
What happened, and why am I in these ropes?
You were defeated by our new...
I remember, Scratches explained it to me, so I went and I challenged him, and I did the thing, and then I was dreaming about running with a herd, but I was at the back for some reason.
No, you are now at the back, I believe. But that's okay, because I am with you, and I will stay with you. And I remember your bravery once, and we will get you to remember it again.
I will turn into a snake, a giant constrictor, and just get out of the binds.
All right, you slithering out of the binds. Gwen, what are you doing throughout this whole thing? Because there's some weirdness, I think, between you and Draxus.
This is during the day, right?
Yeah, it's a montage of travel. So
yeah. So I think she would have gone through all of Barnabas, through all their stuff and just kind of made her own clothes from it.
Sure.
To take like a long tunic and tie it at the bottom on the side as like a dress. And she would probably take all the books that she can find that have come out since the last time she was around, and sort of catch up on all the books she can about everything. And she's just laying on the deck reading most of the time.
Got you. Al-Kazim is happy to help you with books and things. He talks about, obviously, the poetry book that upset Barnabas so much, but which Draxus had great value in. So are you reading up specifically on the stones, or is it just general knowledge?
Literally anything she can get her hands on. She wants to read everything that is on this ship.
There you go.
She'll probably start with the oldest and work forward.
Okay, got you.
The morning
oh, sorry.
on the morning of the next day, the first person who comes out from where the love nest is or where the beds are to come to like outside, I am sitting on, and this is pretty much what I do all day. I'm sitting on the edge of the sky whale and I'm playing, and it's just him sitting there with the wind blowing in his hair. He's, I see fields of green, red roses too.
You have very good eyesight. Very good eyesight. I cannot see them. No.
I see them blue. And he sings Louis Armstrong all day.
Gwen is on the opposite side of the deck, laying down reading books in silence.
All right, that's what you're doing. Every now and again, there's a low note that the whale hits as a double bass, kind of keeping track with you. This is
what a wonderful.
Rex, what are you doing while this? You wanted a circus, you kind of got it. What are you doing while this is unfolding?
Trying to find where his books went, and then contemplating his dagger. And once he finally finds Gwen, he just kind of stands over and says, "You doing some late reading there?"
Yes.
Piles of books around her.
I feel like whenever there's a breeze, she's just taken Barnabas his boots or like his like anything else that was like extra that could weigh down books. She just stole all of his shit and then all of the books. And now she's using them as placeholders so that she can flip back and forth between different books as she like goes to different topics. I hope you don't mind. I took some things to borrow as paperweights so I could study.
Now, most people can't even read, so you're fine. In fact,
yes.
24 hours ago, neither could you, so.
I'm aware.
All right, well.
I had the option of, well, I was given freedom in how I came back. I could have continued the charade and pretended to be your friend, but that doesn't seem right. So, like it or not, you guys are stuck with me. I'm sorry if I was short with you, but I am not your friend. I'm not Jenks.
That's all right. You know that we're driving into a death, right? Like that's the whole shtick.
I've died a few times. It sucks.
All right. Trying to weigh out the balances of you protecting me, driving into hell. You know.
Most people say, and she like licks her hand and flips through some pages, and she's looking up like it's like a dictionary kind of, as she just flips through and is just like, I would say I have your back, but that seems rather counterintuitive because then you get stabbed in the chest. So I have your front.
That was complicated.
If you can join me if you'd like, but I'd like to get back to it.
Nah, that's fine. If okay, look, how much do you know about what's happening?
Guy.
You probably, well, you said you were starting with the oldest book, so yeah.
She would have Jenks' knowledge.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'd have snippets of it.
Mm-hmm. I get the general gist of what we're doing, but in the long run, I don't think it really matters. I'm stuck here regardless.
Right.
Tell me what to do and I shall do it. Within reason.
You have free will. You do whatever the hell you want. Don't get killed. Don't kill me.
I meant as it pertains to our goal.
Oh, I have no idea. I've been winging it the whole time. I'm just smarter than the rest of the idiots that we had. Seriously, though, I don't know.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, great. We're going to see the binders. They understand what binds the entire world together. And I'm hoping they know how to get into the core without melting. Because, you know, that's death. And then I think I have to...
Have you tried combining the stones?
Yeah, I gotta get them out.
May I watch?
I guess.
I'd like to study their effects, if any.
Right now they're inside people.
That was darker than I wanted it to be in my head. Okay, so what is your plan for combining them?
No idea. See, we got this
I have
one.
an idea.
Is it killing them? That was my first thought, too. They all said no.
Okay.
Yeah.
A kiss to build a dream on.
She throws the spear. No, I'm just kidding. Links it right in the side of the head. Just off.
Yeah, everyone seems to be really adamant about saving their lives, their own lives. So, if you find in that book any way to extract these stones from people that doesn't involve cutting or a dragon freezing them to death, I'm all ears.
No, but I'll think about it. Maybe I can find something in these books. Everything in my head just goes back to murder or some type of body mutilation that doesn't seem like an option at the moment. Also, this Venkus, I vaguely remember someone betrayed him, but it was something to do with slavery, and then you mentioned slavery where we're going. Is that going to be a problem?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, what was his name? I knew a trader once. Someone who sold their friends.
Yeah.
Wesley something. I'm sure it'll come to me. Anyway, no murder and no mutilation. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll study.
And for the record, I like the donkey the most.
Yes, he's funny and charming and the least bit of an ass of all of them, oddly enough.
Thank you. Perfect. Great.
And that nest is creepy.
Together, dancing cheek to cheek.
Yeah, she built it. I don't know what her deal is. All right, you do book stuff. I'm gonna go make sure that the rest of the circus doesn't kill each other.
Well, while you're down there, can you please tell Leslie no wheat in any of my food that she cooks or near it?
Rough. I'll see what I can do.
Or I'll survive on this. And she pulls the alcohol, like a huge flat, like flask type thing from under, like she just digs under books and finds a few of them and shakes all of them. And she's just digging through and just starts drinking again.
Yeah, keep working on that one.
All right. That's what happens. So, Gwen, you are now trying to find out more about these stones. Is that correct? Gwen?
Yes. Sorry, I was muted. Yes, she's going to... Honestly, she just wants to learn everything she can about anything that's changed since she's been around a long time ago.
Sure.
But also, like, the stones and maybe, like, the history or what people believed, because maybe usually how stories are passed down in her experience.
Yes.
So there's some truth to it, and then you kind of... It gets distorted over the years, but it might help.
Gotcha. All right. Well, the next couple days are a bit of a haze of reading. Drex is kind of negotiating. Lionel, I suppose, kind of swindling and building up and figuring out what's going on, right?
Yeah, and one of the nights, something has. Oh no, a gust of wind has caught our. Once I realized, like, okay, cool, we're not being chased by dragons to death.
Right.
He's gonna dump that. 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days out, he's gonna dump that thing in the middle of the night. Oh, we wake up and the boat's gone. We're stuck here. Unless they're gonna throw us overboard, we're not going anywhere.
All right.
She looks right at him. I don't believe you. And just goes back to her reading.
Oh, the boat that just went away.
At one
Vankus,
point,
what are you doing? Yeah.
At one point, Vankus finds his way over to the book fortress, and I'm just like. And it'd be like the first day probably. You looking at all the books, you lied to me. You said you couldn't read either. Were you making fun of me, Jenks? Were you mocking me?
Oh, you weren't there. Sit down with me, please. Share some drinks.
So very crestfallen. I just kind of plop cross-legged in front of her.
Oh, when the saints go marching in.
You see her just sitting there rubbing her temples. You told me not to mutilate or kill. Do not mutilate or kill. And she's just, this is her mantra right now.
Okay, so you're gonna tell him the whole story.
She's gonna tell him the whole story and more than she told Draxus.
Skip to the more part for us.
Jenks confided in you. That much I can feel that she trusted you.
We shared bread. We toasted it. We invented toasted bread together.
I'm sorry that your friend is gone. I must tell you, I think there's something worse coming our way. I am not usually present for anything other than utter chaos.
So that makes you like a crow or a raven.
I can speak with animals. Does that count?
No, they're harbingers of bad things.
It was a horrible joke. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this thing. I'm sure your friend was much better at it.
No, she really wasn't. But she was great company, and we were learning to read together. Scratches was teaching us. And,
I could help.
And we ate bread together all the time. You can help me read?
I can't help you eat bread. If you could keep it away from me, that would be great. But I could help you read.
I think I would like that.
You see her reach for one book, and she just kind of like reaches over, digs through a few, and pulls out like a book on sky whales that has a lot of really cute pictures and like diagrams of like, maybe how they think the insides are and stuff like that. And she just starts reading some of the subtext, but there's like a big picture on top. So,
but you can talk to animals as well.
Yes, I told my story to your friend
Sartoon.
Very fond of you.
With reverence. Sartoon is great. She's actually my favorite one here, other than maybe Leslie. Although I seem kind of skeptical when I say that, as if I'm like trying to choose between the two. But Sartoon she's very wise and old.
She is. She has seen many things, and I feel as though she has a lot more to see, especially with her.
It's easier with her. It's simpler, not like the others. Sometimes they're hard to understand.
People can be that way.
But, well, I'm glad you're back, not Jenks. Hopefully whoever Jenks was, she's in a better place. Well, if you came here and you're Jenks now, which is Gwen, where does that put Jenks?
No one knows for sure, but the way I see it, anywhere is better than here.
And I kind of
where I came from, and that's worse.
I lean over and I sniff at you a little bit. I knew you smelled different.
And so the conversations continue as the Skywell heads further and further down. It gets colder and colder, and after day 3, you get called by Captain Serac. All of you. He sort of assembles a meeting in the Love Nest. And he says, so we are about to enter the drift. This is a very dangerous, very, very, very dangerous place. But we are going to go down there. But I think maybe we should take on supplies. There is only one place that I know of in the drift where we can take on supplies. That is a trading outpost run by. It is run probably by goblins. It is called Cull. There is one, however, a trader that I do know of that we might be able to make contact with. He will have supplies. We need supplies? Yes. We're going to trade with the Undersphere. We need to take stuff with us, like shiny trinkets and things, yes? Heroes carry trinkets, yeah?
Perhaps we can find some goblin traders like I don't know, John Coons or Jesse Fraser or Wesley Williamson. They're legendary goblin traders.
I've heard of them before. I've heard of Sean Coons. He's a famous goblin trader.
Yeah.
He might be dead though.
There was that little incident that he had, but I'm sure he is all fine now. Well, maybe. We'll have to see. But or do we just go straight through the drift? In which case, I only like to do that during the maximum daylight hours.
Yeah, I think we need supplies if we're going somewhere really dangerous.
I would like some weapons, please.
Cull is the way to go then. There are many, many dangerous people in Cull.
What kind of things are in Cull?
Have
you ever been there?
No, but I have heard of it. So.
Okay.
It's either that or we go into Undersphere without anything to trade, and that makes me quite nervous.
I look at everybody else.
Have any of you been to Undersphere or to Cull before? No.
No, I've not been that far south.
Well,
I've been to the Undersphere once.
Okay then. What do we think we need? Like food or stuff?
Well, Vankus, you grew up on the Undersphere.
Yeah.
You're not saying anything?
I've been there before.
Oh. What's it like?
It's very dangerous. You need a strong pack.
Oh, don't worry. We're strong. We got this.
That's good, because that's where the dead things walk.
Wait, sorry, bro. Maybe I did not hear that right. You said dead things walking around.
Now you heard that right.
Yeah, dead things walk, and I just turn my head.
I mean,
to be fair, up there,
and he looks to Dante.
The orcs eat people, so.
As above, so below.
Yeah, now the people eat orcs. Yeah.
I don't need anybody.
So we're going to Cull then.
Yeah, let's go to Cull. I don't think we need to stop. It looks like we got enough supplies and all that. Unless there's anything that you recommend that we should take besides the songs in our hearts and the strong emotional bond of friendship.
Oh.
Yes, I'm definitely going to need weapons.
I think that is good call, Gwen. I think weapons is maybe stronger than songs in your hearts and friendship. But it's good. Yes. All right. We will go to Cull. We will arrive shortly. Yes.
Finally, he was kicked out of his tribe, wasn't he?
Who you saying that to?
Lionel.
I kind of lean in. I have never asked him.
Oh yeah, he was for sure. Songs in our hearts. Surprised I didn't eat him.
I'm gonna kind of come up behind Draxus and give him a big hug. Why are you so worried, my friend? Bro, it will be fine. And I'm gonna give him kind of he's just lovey, touchy, feeling like bestest friends. He's never had anyone who didn't like him ever in his life, and that he's just loving on Draxus like he did on Vankus.
Gwen kind of starts to move over when he freshly goes to grab him.
Oh, I think your girlfriend's jealous.
I'm just gonna say this one more time. Don't ever put your pelvis this close to mine ever again, or I will not stop her from killing you. Deal?
It's okay, bro.
I don't have any weapons, so it will take much longer.
I promise we will be good friends.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
And
don't make our hips touch ever.
Mr. Draxus, Scratches says he's in charge now.
Scratches is in charge now?
No, he says Lionel's in charge now.
No,
I don't hear any of this.
If anything, Vankus, you are in charge.
Jesus.
You guys don't know who's in charge.
We need someone who can unify the group
By Braxton's
and that
life.
everyone can listen to.
I am a prince.
Smartest.
I'm marrying a princess. I am a prince.
Yes.
It's true.
Draxus is the smartest, but the smartest don't always lead.
I'm gonna write a book on this one day. Make millions. Sell it to El Qasim.
Can I write the songs for it?
Oh my God!
You may absolutely not. I'll tell you what.
I've returned from down below and I've brought up the flute and drum and I kind of like hand both of them, offer one or the other over to Dante like a choice.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Flute or
what.
drum?
It's a flute or a drum. True choice. Pick one. I'll take the flute, bud.
If we turn this into a musical, I'll give you 10% and Lionel 10%.
Who plays me?
You.
Yes.
As you are working out the minutiae of your new musical, Love Amongst the Clouds,
Where are we going? To the deep, dark, death and doom place? Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yep. Center of the world, ultimate death, undead everywhere, and a musical, a song in your heart. You start to realize it's getting dark outside, and it's not because of daylight failing. It's because there is simply no daylight getting down here. And the whale takes on a different, almost a mood. And because you're so close to her, and so many of you are fairly in tune with her by now, there is a certain tenseness that has built up in her. And looking out on out of the love nest, you see these massive chunks of rock just randomly drifting and rotating. In the distance, a rock collides with another one, and there's this terrific explosion which sends out shards in all different directions. And their velocity increases for a while until eventually it slows down, and then they just join this general miasma of rock and boulder. And by rocks, I mean some of the rocks are 6 or 7 times the size of Sartoon that drift overhead. And she has to pay very careful attention to moving around these boulders, suddenly pulling up to avoid a big rock which is sailing upwards. It's this very densely packed space. Every now and again, you see little creatures skittering around on some of the bigger boulders. They sort of watch Sartoon as she slowly makes her way through. The sound, your music here would seem to be very out of place, because the only sound is this strange, eerie whistling noise that the larger boulders make as they slam into one another. Then there's a terrific bang, cracking, creaking sound. Other than that, it's fairly quiet, just absolute concentration. I would like all 5 of you to please roll a d20, and we need to score above 50 to safely make it to
17. That is not a d20. Gwen?
There's a natural 20.
I realized it after I did that.
That's 37.
I got a 2.
All right.
I think we're there.
Well, you make it. But yes, you come as one of these large boulders rolls away from in front of you, and you slip in underneath. You can see this bizarre contraption. It looks like a gigantic porcupine, or maybe a sea urchin would be a better description of it. Just the spiky structure, these wooden poles sticking out in all different directions. And on the tips of these poles are these large, they look like bladders that have been inflated, I should say, that float around. And the general effect is that these boulders will roll towards the structure, hit one of the bladders, and then kind of roll off in a different direction, whereas the structure itself remains relatively intact. There are 2 other vessels docked here. One of them looks to be a hot air balloon of some kind, heavily plated, heavily armored. It definitely looks orcish in origin. The other one is a bizarre thing. It has 4 wings sticking out of it, sort of like in an X shape, with these glowing runes all over the hull. There is a section where Sartoon can dock. Surak comes up to, I'm thinking it is best for us to dock, disembark, and then Sartun just drift with the stones, and then she come back to fetch us, huh?
Yeah.
Are
Keep
you
shut-
sure? Are you sure you can do that?
Yeah.
Are
Well-
we gonna have a fight?
Just fetch the whale. No problem.
Yeah, Kasim will stay on the whale. And I would also suggest that the ladies stay there too.
Absolutely not.
Cole, no, well, maybe you...
Oh, actual ladies. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because we have the elf too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's I'm a lady now as well, thank you. Sort of drift. I've decided... and then
down boat.
the sort of ears go back down underneath the pillows. The Skywheel slowly pulls up to dock, and you can see there is a very large orc standing, looking out at your approach. He has a massive battle axe in one hand. Next to him is this very small little goblin who's also watching your approach. As Sartun pulls up to the dockside, the goblin steps forward. G'day, welcome to Cull. What can I do for yous?
Need
We're
supplies.
Come again?
We need supplies.
We're here to shop.
You're going to go down into the Undersphere, or are you coming up from the Undersphere going up to the Terrasphere?
Going
What's
down.
it to you?
You're going down. Oh, well, that's
She
fantastic.
looks over at Drex.
You're welcome to come on board, and welcome to Cull. My name is Sean, and, well, I'm happy to show you around for a small fee, of course. But, yeah, you look like you are a bunch of yubbos that have come down here to try and gizz around some of the Goldo, yeah?
Gwen takes one of the spears and plants it.
V9000, those are really pricey little pieces of merchandise you got there. You don't know that you can't hunt Archosaurs with that?
I don't plan on hunting those.
Is
not
it me or
standing
does he have a
between me.
funny accent?
Are you saying that aloud?
Yes.
You haven't been to Cull before, have you?
No, I skipped it last time.
Right. We're a neutral kind of place, if you know what I mean. If you get my drift, if you kind of catch what I'm throwing, yeah. You're a lobber, yeah.
Oh, what? I don't understand the words that he's saying.
That's all right.
What is he saying?
You got gold in your pockets?
Bruv, we got many things.
I pulled my pockets inside out, and there's like a couple beans hits the ground, and some lint falls out.
Gwen sees one of the beans and just kind of like instinctively twitches.
I will step forward and seeing that the party is failing and walk forward and hold up a bag of gold and say,
Yes, we have money, and we're going to spend it here.
That's all I needed to hear, mate. Come on, let's go and get a drinko. There's, Fraser's is open around about now.
And what is your name, small goblin?
Sean.
Sean.
He said his name's Sean.
That's
Sean.
right.
I
Yeah.
did not hear, or I chose not to. And then I continue to follow behind it.
Where do you
Yeah,
get
right.
that gold from?
I'm not going to answer that. I'm just going to kind of like give Draxus the little like you think you're so fucking smart. Here we are rolling up, and I want to kind of look around. Lionel is mostly assessing this, like how many people he sees, where we're going. He is looking for any viable targets and or trade people, but
I'm also
he's
keeping a lookout for anything that's threatening.
he has learned to kind of be quiet as quick as he can and assess, and then when he's confident that he can like take advantage of somebody, that's when he kind of turns on the charm. So, guys, is there any basically, I'm trying to get a sense of when they start leading us into a town or whatever. He'll be looking specifically for any type of like street vendors that don't necessarily lock their goods up well at night. Anything along those lines. Loose safe boxes around, hidden behind slats in their wagons. Anything like that.
You're optimistically looking around for these things until you actually step inside, and the entire structure is enclosed. And think of it almost as a dome with a walkway on one level and then a lower level below. That's it. It's only two levels high. And there are a few vendors. This is not a shopping mall by any stretch of the imagination, but it is filled with people who look like they would quite happily sell your skin off to anyone and eat the meat and then use your bones as firewood. This is not a happy crowd of people. Everyone has armor with spikes. There are large harpoons on their backs or spears. There's double-handed axes around. There are quite tense atmospheres. The traders themselves, all goblins. It's only goblins who actually trade, but there is a mixture of races here. You can see some Ivonite elves wandering around. They're kind of eyeing you out. They're very out of place, of course, in this very dark space, and they've kind of got this heavy clothing on to try and keep them warm. There are orcs kind of strutting around as if they own the place, but at the same time, we own this space, but we recognize that there are people here who are more powerful than us. There's some ice dwarves. You can see there's an ice dwarf vendor down there who's selling ice, but not a lot of loose movement. And there's probably only about 30 or 40 people inside the structure itself.
Reminds me of home.
Lionel is thrilled because in his experience, he's found that the people that are the easiest to take advantage of are the people who are overconfident in their own abilities and who underestimate others. So he'll take whatever notes that he can of anybody here guy at all that looks like they might have any type of gold coin or anything, whoever the alpha is, whatever. So that's what he will specifically be looking for as we enter in.
Draxus? Is it obvious to Draxus specifically what Lionel is doing?
I don't think so necessarily. It's not like he's sort of purposely looking around. He is being fairly obvious, though, that he's assessing the situation. But I think everybody's assessing the situation because it is so bizarre. You do note, though, that there is only one entrance that you could see into the space. And once you've walked through, the doors get pulled shut. They're these big, heavy doors, obviously designed to protect against rocks that sort of smash against it, you assume. And there are the one orc who was standing out on the dock stands behind and stays back as Sean kind of shows you through. He points at Fraser's, which is this dive of a bar, and says, "That's your place if you want to get anything to drink. Fraser's is the way to go. But what are you folks looking for exactly? What are you trying to buy? What are you doing down in the Undersphere? I mean, it's
just supplies. Don't worry about it.
Weapons. You see, she has a bunch of those spears, as many as she could tie together, that she's gonna try to sell. She just plops them down.
See, this place is dangerous, and we need protection.
What you need is a map. That's what I think you need. I happen to have a few maps, absolutely certified, completely cartographied and made absolutely viable and 100% authentic. Drawn by local Undersphereans.
He turns to Lionel.
Do we need a map?
Bro, a map would be nice.
Yeah, a map would be great.
Why is he talking like that?
I'll meet you at Fraser's. He scampers off to go and get the map that he has. We're not going to do shopping necessarily. You can buy almost anything here that your heart's desire. The cost, however, is double because it's rare that you find good quality merchandise. Generally speaking, however, everything has had additional spikes added onto it. So if you buy a longsword, it's a longsword that has a spike at the back. If
I
you
need to
buy,
get a spiky battle axe.
yeah, it's
Heavy metal concert.
yeah, heavy metal concert, but there's also lots of man catchers, extended poles with clasps that'll open and close so you can catch beasts and things. Cages are very popular. There is heavy duty rope. There's rope that doesn't burn. There's rope that you can't cut. There is, for princely sum of 500 gold pieces, 50 foot of rope that if you cut it up and you put the pieces back together again, it becomes whole. Aside from that, everything else is just incredibly robust. Plate mail that you can buy here, again, double the price as in the book, but the plate mail is also designed, lots of spikes and things, guaranteed that if you get swallowed by anything, it will kick you or eject you back out again.
Great.
Yeah, so that's the kind of atmosphere that we go through as you go shopping and starting to try and purchase stuff. Before we end off, however, Sean comes running up to you and he holds up this page and he says, so I've got the map for you. This is a genuine, authentic, absolutely guaranteed imitation of a map that came from the Undersphere. It is yours for just 25 gold pieces. Now, before you ask, I know what you're thinking. You are thinking, is Crayon an authentic cartography implement for design? Absolutely it is. And the reason for it is it's waterproof, which, as everybody knows, you need to have when you are done in the Undersphere. Whereas if it was to be made out of ink, for example, we know that ink runs in water. So Crayon is absolutely guaranteed to be the absolute choice of cartographers all over the world in the Undersphere, nonetheless. So,
I hand him my entire bag of gold.
Thank you.
No.
It's 25 gold pieces.
Thank you, he says, and it's a fair trade, absolutely. The scale is 1:2 depends. So as you look on the map, it's variable. Though I have it on good authority that there are not that many elephants down there now. They have been hunted to near extinction. It's a tragedy. There is a small fundraiser we put up to try and bring the species back. But yeah, the map is guaranteed golden. He says, now enjoy your time here at Cole, and just remember, you could of course go and speak to
you know, bro.
Yeah.
You know, bro, and I'm gonna kind of look over to Dante really loud. This is a nice map.
Absolutely.
We should have probably given him the special honey for this instead of the gold, but you had a good deal.
You would give him the special honey?
And on that confidence, we will leave you and come back next week. The party has got through the introducing two new characters phase.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. We have so many people to thank for this, and we're going to thank the sponsors here in just a moment, but thank you guys, all of the incredible donations coming in all night long. It was just like insane, and so we just want to thank you guys so much for that, and we tried to give you guys a little special shout out during the stream for all that, so we really, really do appreciate it. It definitely helps. Huge thank you to our sponsors. So Fantasy Grounds, guys, go check out Fantasy Grounds. It's absolutely phenomenal. We love them. They've been incredibly supportive of Saver Dice since day one. And seriously, like, what else could you ask for? Use Fantasy Grounds. It's dope. Also, Dungeon Painter Studio, incredibly cheap, make infinite maps, a highly reusable program, and import it with whatever virtual tabletop you guys are using. If you guys are doing TV stuff into your table, like I will be doing next week, Dungeon Painter Studio works excellent for that. So links to them down below as well. And then, of course, massive thank you to Elderwood Academy, who makes all of the get your wood on. Fuck. They're still going to be like, yeah, this was fun with Saver Dice, guys. Why did you keep saying wood up the whole time? I don't. People kept tweeting us #wood up. I don't get it. They make awesome hex chests, mini hex chests. They make spell scroll dice towers. So if you guys are looking for a last minute Christmas gift for your DM and everybody wants to pitch in for something really cool, I highly recommend those. Those are awesome. They have spell books, they have Magic the Gathering decks and stuff like that, all made out of custom wood with custom leather. You guys can customize it however you want with whatever foil print and colors and stuff like that you want. So that's it for us. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Just one thing, because I've had so many requests. The review that I do of the episode where I talk through what I had planned and then how these guys completely screwed it up and went in a different direction, or didn't, as most of the time it is, has now moved to my Twitch show, which is on Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So catch me there if you want to interact, where we talk about we review the show. And
if you guys are oh, never mind, Mike. You know what, Mike? Thanks a lot, Mike. I said, hey, give me somebody to raid tonight. He's like, hey, you should go raid Grimjack. And then I look up, and Grimjack is having technical difficulties. Please stand by on their thing. So we're gonna go raid. The Mighty Dungeon, which says the biggest shit show D&D game on Twitch. So we're gonna go raid them. Mike, help me out with that. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, we love your faces. We will catch you guys next week. Take care.